deeply destructive. I would not let this happen. Now make peace.
I have my own views.
Thank you very much.
Benjamin Netanyahu has been declared politically dead many times. Analysts wrote him off in 1999. They called him irrelevant in 2006. They eulogized his career in 2021. But each time, he clawed his way back like a cat with 9 lives. Netanyahu always landed on his feet. But in the last 20 months, the Israeli Prime Minister has not just tested global patience, he has trampled on it. The war in Gaza shows no signs of ending. People are dying over aid. A Catholic church was bombed. Israel is picking battles across the region. And Netanyahu, he is promising more war. So the question now is not whether he will survive. The question is what happens if the cat keeps knocking everything off the table? What does the world do then? This week, 25 countries condemned Israel. The list includes the likes of France, Canada, Japan, Australia, and even the UK. They condemned Israel over the killing of civilians in Gaza. They called it inhumane. They accused Prime Minister Netanyahu of using aid as a weapon, and they demanded an immediate ceasefire.
It's 2.5 months since Prime Minister Netanyahu restarted offensive operations. The IDF has driven Palestinians out of 86% of Gaza, leaving around 2 million people trapped in an area scarcely over 20 square miles. Whatever this Israeli government might claim, repeated displacement of so many civilians is not keeping them safe. In fact, it's quite the reverse.
So the message was clear: this war cannot continue without consequences. Now, a warning from 25 nations would usually be a big deal, but Netanyahu is not too bothered about this because all he cares about is just one nation, and that is the United States of America. What do they think of Netanyahu's actions? Well, even Washington is not happy. US President Donald Trump seems rattled. He has been Netanyahu's greatest enabler, but even he was apparently caught off guard, especially by Israel's strikes on Syria. Reports suggest that Netanyahu did not have the go-ahead from the US. Trump did not give him a green light to attack Syria, yet he went ahead with it. Same for the bombing of the Gaza church. Trump did not know about it, or so Washington claims. And both times, he had to pick up the phone and tell Netanyahu off.
He was caught off guard by the bombing in Syria and also the bombing of a Catholic church in Gaza, which, as you know, I addressed at my briefing last week. And in both accounts, the president quickly called the prime minister to rectify those situations.
Well, that says a lot. In his last stint as president, Donald Trump moved the US embassy to Jerusalem. From Tel Aviv, they moved it to Jerusalem, which is a contested city. He recognized the Golan Heights as Israeli territory. Again, a controversial decision. Even now, on every occasion, he echoes Netanyahu's talking points, yet even Trump cannot seem to trust the Israeli leader. And Trump's aides are even more furious. One of them called Netanyahu, and I'm quoting, a madman. Another said that he was like a child that did not behave. Officials say he bombs everything. Publicly, Trump is still defending Netanyahu. He's still posing for pictures. He's still accepting Netanyahu's Nobel Peace Prize nominations. But behind closed doors, the frustration is said to be building. And there's a good reason for it. When Hamas attacked Israel on October 7, 2023, the world rallied behind Israel. Everyone supported Netanyahu. They defended his actions in Gaza. The goal was to release the hostages and end Hamas. Almost 2 years of war, and none of those goals have been achieved. Israel has not been able to bring back all the hostages, and it has not been able to eliminate Hamas. Yet Netanyahu has doubled down on military aggression, not just in the Gaza Strip, by the way. He's also struck Iran and Syria. His forces are killing aid seekers. He is bombing a Catholic church. At this point, it looks less about defeating an enemy and more about his own political survival. You see, Netanyahu is facing public protests at home. His corruption trial is underway. His government has razor-thin majority. So he is desperately trying to cling on to power by pushing West Asia to the edge. The question is, for how long? Israel cannot sustain this war without American support. It uses American weapons and it relies on American diplomatic cover. If Washington pulls the plug, the entire operation grinds to a halt. And that's what terrifies Netanyahu the most. He spent decades perfecting the art of American politics. He knows how to play the evangelical card. He knows how to flatter presidents. He knows how to turn the US-Israel relationship into a kind of emotional blackmail. You criticize him and suddenly you're anti-Israel, anti-Semitic even. But slowly that playbook is fraying. Even Trump is looking for off-ramps. Publicly, he's offering Netanyahu the benefit of the doubt, but privately, he's losing patience. So what next? If history is any guide, Netanyahu may find yet another escape hatch, another enemy, another crisis, another borrowed life. Although this time feels different. He's risking war, risking global outrage, risking almost everything just to stay in power. So we'll have to wait and see how many more lives before the cat runs out of lives.
Firstpost now available in 9 languages on YouTube. English,
Stands at $36 trillion.
French,
Le FMI, comme
German,
Geschäftsführenden Direktor,
Hindi,
$30 trillion ka kaljo.
Indonesian,
Pemerintah tanpa pemeriksaan.
Italian,
Skali radikali.
Japanese,
$4 trilhão.
Portuguese,
Por causa do próprio balanço patrimonial.
Spanish.
Beautiful bill.
Go to Settings, click on Audio Track and select a language of your choice. Be the first to know what's happening around you in your first language. Firstpost.